Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and this is Guitar Solo Reactions, and today we're doing my favorite band, or one of my favorite bands, Thin Lizzy. This is the song Cold Sweat off the record Thunder and Lightning, Thin Lizzy's last official record that came out in 1984. It features John Sykes as basically the lead guitarist, along with Brian Robertson, who had been in the band forever, Brian Downey on drums, and a keyboard player that I can't remember his name. Uh, Thunder and Lightning's sonically not a great record, but the songs are great and they're pretty heavy. All three of the last three Thin Lizzy records, Chinatown, Renegade, and this one, are pretty heavy records. Snowy White being the second guitar player on Chinatown and Renegade. So, anyway, slight departure for the lineup with this band. And as many guitar fans know, John Sykes has been in Whitesnake, Blue Murder, and probably other things that I don't know about. But he has a very small amount of output, unfortunately. And as you'll see on this song, he can really play. So here we go. This is live on BBC Radio 1 in the UK. I'm assuming around 84, maybe 85. I'm not sure when the tour was. And yeah, let's do it. That was the end of Boys and Back Again.
We're going to do the new single from the new album. This is one called Cold Sweat. It goes like this. I put my money in a suitcase, headed for the big race. I felt a chill on my backbone as I hung up the telephone. Cold stone summer and cold stone sweat running down the back of my neck. Take a little one and nothing left to lose. I got me a heavy back. Cold sweat. They say chances on the outside, but looking pretty slim. I feel so lucky on the inside. I feel I'm going in. Cold stone summer and cold stone sweat running down the back of my neck. Take a little one and there's nothing left to lose. I got me a heavy bet. Cold sweat.
Yeah. So obviously, John Sykes kind of brings the high octane back that Gary Moore had, and no, this isn't a slight against Scott Gorham, who's a great guitar player, but Gary Moore and John Sykes just are next level players as far as like speed and just ferocity and like even feel. So it's a shame we didn't really see this band do another record, and of course Phil being gone, pretty devastating to me, like I said at the time. And I've been sitting here watching some older stuff. I'm still a fan of Thin Lizzy, and I share that with my son as well, and he's constantly reaching back into the catalog and finding like really cool gems of the earlier records that I think I started at, um, uh, I don't know, probably the mid 70s and went till they stopped making records. So there's those first 4 or 5 records that I really didn't know much about till he and I started talking more and more about the band. So anyway, that's just a side note. But let's get back to the song. And I just wanted to say John Sykes is killer.
Isn't that what you need to us? Might spend it in stages and move out to Las Vegas. Cold stone sober and cold stone sweat, running down the back of my leg. To lose means trouble, to win means trouble. I got me a heavy bed. Chances on the outside. I got a home on the street. I put my money in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Goes on summer and goes on sweat. Wasting money.
Wait, so who is that guitar? Is that Snowy White on guitar? It might be Scott Gorham. I might have it wrong. So, as far as the people on the record, it is. Oh, I was wrong. Sorry, it's Scott Gorham on guitar. It's not Brian Robertson. He was probably doing the Motorhead record right around now. So sorry, but Scott Gorham. And that's who's on the record. It's Phil, Scott Gorham, John Sykes, Darren Wharton is the keyboard player who played with them quite a bit in those last 3 records. And then Brian Downey, of course, I think the original drummer for the band. And so, yeah. Hey, if you love Phil, you're in the right place. I mean, I think about the band a lot. I listen to a lot of stuff and still find it as emotional as I did when I was, 18 or even 12, really. So, one of my favorite bands. So, I'm Brian. This is Guitar Solo Reactions. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.